Welcome to Immigration Info, your ultimate hub for all things immigration. Looking for visa tips, country guides, and the latest immigration updates? You're in the right place. Subscribe for expert insights and join our global community today. Amid growing discontent over President Donald Trump's immigration policies, demonstrations erupted across the United States. Thousands of protesters gathered in cities nationwide, voicing their opposition to policies that have intensified deportation efforts and expanded the use of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. In Los Angeles, the protests took a dramatic turn as demonstrators flooded downtown streets and even marched onto the 101 freeway, causing hours of traffic disruption. Despite the chaos, the demonstrations remained largely peaceful, with protesters expressing their frustrations and advocating for immigrant rights. Downtown Los Angeles becomes the epicenter. The protests in Los Angeles stretched throughout the day and into the night, with large crowds assembling on Olvera Street before marching to City Hall. Signs carried messages of solidarity, targeting ICE and showing support for immigrant workers. Many of the protesters emphasized the essential contributions of immigrants to the country. One demonstrator shared their motivation. "We're hardworking people, filled with pride and love. We're not here to fight against America. We are America." Escalation of immigration policies. The demonstrations were fueled by recent actions taken by the Trump administration, declaring a national emergency at the southern border. President Trump escalated ICE operations in major cities and lifted restrictions on enforcement at sensitive locations like schools and churches. Protesters voiced their fears over the increasing crackdown. One participant expressed concern, "We're protesting for peace, equality, and the humane treatment of all individuals. The current situation is terrifying." Tensions rise, but unity prevails. As tensions escalated, law enforcement in riot gear worked to disperse the protesters. While most participants remained peaceful, some incidents, such as spray-painted obscenities and stunts on side streets, drew attention. Organizers, however, emphasized that such actions should not detract from the overall message of unity and resistance against hatred and racism. "We stand united. We're here to represent our heritage and push back against discrimination," stated one protester. Sanctuary cities in the spotlight. The protests also brought attention to the administration's stance on sanctuary cities. The White House press secretary issued a stern warning to city leaders, urging compliance with federal immigration laws. The administration's firm approach has sparked debates and heightened tensions across the nation. A fight for human rights. The demonstrations served as a reminder of the ongoing struggle for immigrant rights in America. Protesters from diverse backgrounds united to demand fair treatment and recognition of the contributions immigrants make to the nation. As the protests wind down, the call for action and change grows louder, with participants vowing to continue their fight for equality and justice. "We're here because we believe in a better future, not just for ourselves, but for the generations to come," said one young demonstrator. This sentiment was echoed by families, activists, and community leaders who joined forces to demand a shift in national priorities, urging the government to focus on unity, compassion, and comprehensive immigration reform. The role of community and activism. Community organizations played a significant role in mobilizing these protests, providing a platform for marginalized voices to be heard. Grassroots efforts, including social media campaigns and local outreach, successfully drew large crowds and amplified the message nationwide. Organizers stressed the importance of peaceful protests as a way to effect change. They called on participants to channel their frustration into constructive action, such as lobbying for legislative change, supporting immigrant rights organizations, and educating others about the realities of the immigration system. As the dust settles from these massive demonstrations, the question remains, what's next for the immigration debate in the United States? Advocates are urging lawmakers to consider humane and practical solutions, including pathways to citizenship, protections for dreamers, and the de-escalation of aggressive deportation tactics. Meanwhile, communities continue to rally around those affected by the policies, offering legal support, resources, and solidarity. The protests may have subsided for now, but the movement is far from over, a movement that transcends borders. The protests against immigration policies have transcended individual cities and states. becoming a nationwide movement that underscores the interconnectedness of all people. It's a fight not just for immigrants, but for the ideals of equality, justice, and human dignity that define America. As one protester powerfully stated, "We are not just immigrants. We are parents, workers, neighbors, and friends. We are the backbone of this nation, and we deserve to be treated as such." The message is clear. America's immigration story is still being written, and these voices will ensure it's a story of resilience, unity, and hope.